Hey, what up, YouTube, and welcome back to the Barlow Zone, home of the one and only Demon Hunter King Kaido himself sent to Azeroth. And yeah, you know what? I'm back on the Azeroth bit this week because, man, the raid season for Midnight finally opened up. Void Spire is looking, and by God, that cinematic at the end. If you know, you know. I'm not going to get into it. We're not here to talk about World of Warcraft today. You know, we're here because I gotta get some stuff off my chest about Starfleet Academy, and I feel kind of bad because, you know, I was supposed to have a new camera. I ordered one. I have one. What, right here? Hold on. I got this little POS, right? I did not realize the quality of camera I had picked had a weird effect to it. I just really wasn't vibing with. So we're sticking with the old video for now. Going to be looking into a proper 4K camera here before too much longer, but y'all might notice down here, got me the mic. Let me know in the comments, is the sound doing any better for you guys, or do you prefer the Turtle Beach mic? You know, just let me know. I'm trying to make this more entertaining and pleasurable for y'all to watch or listen to, you know. Sorry about that camera shake. But anyway, I want to talk about Starfleet Academy today, right? And I guess more specifically, I'm excited because, you know, what's my thing, right? Like, what does Barlow try to do out here? Barlow be theorizing. I love theorizing. I love thinking about stuff, critically analyzing what I saw, what I read, what I heard, and trying to figure out where it's going to go, right? So I love that, and I haven't been able to interact with that part of myself with Starfleet Academy yet, right? Now, to those who may have been able to put the pieces together, I actually didn't start watching Starfleet Academy till around episode 5, right? I did an initial video reacting to like episode 1, or trying to just react to episode 1, because I binged 4 that night. Like, I was in it. And then follow-up video covering episodes 2 through 6. 7 and 8, I posted about it on my Tumblr. I may have made a community post on here. I don't know. I don't get a lot of interactions with community posts, so I don't always be putting stuff on here that I do on my Tumblr or Discord, right? But 7 and 8, they were great episodes. Maybe great's a strong word from me. They were good episodes. They were definitely Star Trek. They're definitely working on the world building and stuff like that, right? But 7 and 8 were more that high school feel, right? Like that. These are the new generation kids of Starfleet. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's what Starfleet Academy seems to be aiming to do, right? Like, they're trying to bring in a new generation of Trekkies into the fandom. And hey, I'm all for it, as long as you do it right. We'll get into that before too much longer. Episodes 9 and 10 were absolutely peak, though. Over the last week, I've been thinking about it a lot. And I mean, first off, I want to say I'm sorry, y'all. I know it's been a while since my last video. I'm finally back to work, so Barlow's feeling good. I finally got some money rolling. It's been exhausting, though, because I'm working a really late night shift, so getting up early to record these videos isn't always something I'm looking forward to do. But no, you know what? That's a lie. I have been looking forward to doing this one. I just haven't had the energy first thing in the morning. But anyway, what do I want to talk about with episode 9 and 10, right? I mean, first off, aside from the fact that Jonathan Frakes finally came back for Starfleet Academy, right? Episode 9 was beautiful. An absolute masterclass on how to set up Star Trek stuff, right? Like, he's a legend in the community for a reason. Jonathan Frakes will hopefully, fingers crossed, always be around. If there's a Star Trek show or Star Trek movie, hopefully he's involved, because the man understands. Like, he got the assignment in The Next Generation, bet, like, full send, took that, made it his career. I love Jonathan Frakes. So finding out that he directed episode 9 was absolutely beautiful to me, especially with how it left off. Now, what I want to talk about is something I've kind of already talked about before, right? But I want to come back again now that the season's over, right? Like, now that you can binge just all 10 episodes, assuming you got, you know, depending on if you got ads on your Paramount Plus, 10 to 11 and a half free hours in a day. More accurately, you could probably binge them over 2 days or whatever. But now that the season's over, the information is all there and available, right? Anybody can go in and check it out for themselves. I got to step back into that old argument, because episode 9 and 10, once again, were the writers making it clear, not only to the new Trekkies, not only to the outsiders looking in at our community, right? But they made it clear to the OGs, the people who were there for the original series, the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, the motion picture. Like, they made it clear, guys, we remember that we're Star Trek. We do not want to try to be Star Wars anymore. And what do I mean by that? Now, I had a pretty cool little, not really conversation. It's more like I read their post and I hit them up like, hey, I was really vibing with what you're saying. I want to mention you in my video. So big shout out to Starship 21Z and a 9 over on Tumblr. It's not often that I find somebody who seems to have had a similar thought to me without me having already presented a thought, right? Now they had a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just put up their whole post, because it was some like 27 points they were making about Rubicon, and I loved every one of them. Like it was a fantastic read, top to bottom, right? But what really got me thinking about mentioning this was their I believe it was the 21st point they made, talking about, the individual was really happy that Caleb was getting to spend the summer vacation with his mom, right? Like, they were scared that the only outcome to this storyline was a bad one. And that's sad, because I kind of had a similar thought, right? Like, the state of how things have been for Star Trek lately. It's all, okay, you know what? We're probably going to find her, but then shit's going to hit the fan. Like, I was even thinking it might have been Starfleet that ended up being the one to take Anisha back out of Caleb's life, right? Like, I was thinking, not on malice or anything, mind you, like, obviously she was on site with the captain, right? Captain Ake. Like, on site, like, bitch, you took my son from me. Catch these fists, levitate them paws. Let's go. And I get it. Full send. That's good writing. That's understanding human nature, right? But the main storyline for season 1 just felt like this is going to be a bittersweet reunion. And I largely blame recent Star Trek for this, including the Kelvin timeline films. Now, no shade at them. I thoroughly enjoyed Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto together. Carl Urban, man, like, that's my dude. I can't wait. You know what? Real quick tangent. The Boys is okay. I'm not fully caught up. I mean, it's all right. Not even my favorite Carl Urban. Like, okay, to pull from the back of the catalog, right? My favorite Carl Urban movie was Dread. I loved that movie. Guilty pleasure of Barlow. I absolutely loved how Carl Urban portrayed Dread. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Carl or Zachary or Chris. We're here to talk about the fact that in recent Trek, the lean towards these bittersweet moments, the like, oh, we accomplished the mission, but did we really type thing, the leaning into space battles, leaning into overall trying to be Star Wars 2. Not a title or a game or anything, like trying to imitate Star Wars, right? And it's something I've always hated, because the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, right? Like, they dealt with those intense, deep moments, right? Like the esoteric political arguments type stuff. But Gene never gave into the misery. Like there was always a sun on the other side of that nebula that we'd be able to reach, right? And even when stuff went bad, right? Like I like that they pointed out. I don't know if this is what they were referring to. Starship. Let me know if you're watching. Let me know if this is what you're referring to. But the Wrath of Khan, right? Like, oh hey, turns out we can fix a warp drive without an intense sacrifice. Like, homeboy taking shots at Spock. But I mean that's what the episode showed. Now, albeit this is hundreds of years after the time of Kirk and Spock, right? So perhaps whatever methods they were not even perhaps. The methods they were using were definitely unavailable on the original Enterprise. Man, I'm sorry. I'm flashing to that scene with Spock and Kirk down at the warp core. Oh man. Not the Kelvin timeline did all right. Anyway, moving on, because none of this is what I want to talk about. Okay. What's been going through my mind is how episode 9 and 10 were handled, right? So by the end of episode 9, right, we got the oh god, what they call it, something 47. Anyway, we got all the landmines and closing the Federation space, right? And the USS Athena outside, like they essentially should be dead to rights. And it wasn't even the full Athena, it was only the saucer section, right? So like things were looking bad at the end of episode 9, and that's why I say Jonathan Frakes put on that masterclass, because he left us with that sense of despair, that dread in the back of our head, like, oh God, who's gonna die here? My first thought was, for the love of God, don't let it be Jet. I fucking love that woman. She is one of the bright spots on of the command crew of the Athena, right? Like, God, I love Jet. She's fucking awesome. Get to see her in that captain seat too. Oh man. But anyway, like things were looking just bad at the end of episode 9, right? And I was talking with my roommate, I might have mentioned it on a social at some point, but I was talking about how, okay, you know what, I'm getting kind of scared because this feels like it's leaning towards another giant space battle. Now, I got nothing against giant space battles. That's why I like Star Wars. That's why I like Star Wars. But man, the writer's room, the directors, the actors, everybody, they came through with flying colors. Like, oh my God. This solution, everybody who was on that saucer of the Athena had a hand in how they won the day without it devolving to pew pew here, pew pew there. And that's Star Trek. That's what we're supposed to be about, that hope, right? Not the unnecessary wanton destruction of life around us. It's about the hope that things will get better. Hope that things will get better. Leads me into my theory. Now, I've done a little bit of reading on what's going on with season 2. To my knowledge, it's already done filming. Like, good God, dude, like these guys are committed. Paramount is putting in that work with Star Trek. Somebody even over on Tumblr corrected me. See, now I thought Strange New Worlds was kind of sitting in this limbo development hell where I thought maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. No, turns out they've already got season 4, season 5 filmed. Like, good God, dude, they are putting in work. They need us to show our support. So I am here today. But before I get into the theory, I am here today because I want every old Trekkie, if you loved the original series, if you loved The Next Generation or Deep Space Nine, if you loved those series that Gene Roddenberry had his hands in, and I do include Deep Space Nine. I know it came out after he passed, but Deep Space Nine only happened because the writers and the directors and showrunners and everybody proved that they were committed to holding on to the core of what Gene had created. So I do include that in the content that Gene had his hands in, because after Deep Space Nine, man, like, shit fell apart so fast. I ain't gonna go into it. I've already made the video about Voyager. God, I can't do that again. So I just want to say a big shout out to everybody involved with StarFleet Academy Season 1. I am so looking forward to what you guys have in store for us for Season 2. It should be hype, right? Now, to get into Season 2 in the theory before this video gets too long, right? From what I've heard of Season 2, Noose Braca won't be around. Honestly, I kind of like that. There was a point made that the BBEG, I guess, for lack of a better term, I can't remember exactly how the article put it, but the main storyline is going to be focused around a moral dilemma. And that's where my brain juices started flowing, right? That's where, you know, because I'm back in the kitchen, but I'm in the dish pit. I'm just trying to vibe, make some money, not get back into the bad health stuff I had going on a few years back. So, I'm in there, I'm doing dishes, I'm spraying them down, loading up the dishwasher, and I'm thinking, like, moral dilemma. What could they mean by that? I mean, it's a school, so no doubt that kids face moral dilemmas constantly, but, like, what would one look like that's big enough to consume the storyline of an entire season? We're talking 8 to 12 episodes. It could end up being shorter. I've heard rumors that Paramount wasn't liking the reaction to Season 1, right? It could end up being longer. If we come out en masse and we're supportive of what they did, because this is the writers returning to what Star Trek's supposed to be. I say it again. I'm going to keep saying it every time I talk about Starfleet Academy until the haters get off that hate train, because this is good content. This is something Gene would be proud of. I'm just going to say it 100% in my heart of hearts. Gene would be proud of the effort that everybody put into that season. Now, to this moral dilemma, right? And why do I keep talking about old Star Trek, what Star Trek's about, not being Star Wars 2? I think I know what that moral dilemma is going to be, because of what Star Trek is. Now, that being said, I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm not in the writer's room. I don't know any of those fools. I've done writing before. I'm a big fan of critical analysis and theory crafting. So, because of what I understand Star Trek wants to be, I'm going to go ahead and drop this theory about Season 2. The plot of Season 2 is going to be introducing the Venari Raw to the Starfleet Federation. Give you guys a second to, begin typing up in comments like, Barlow, you're fucking nuts, bro. What are you talking about? The Venari Raw joining Starfleet? Like, I guess not Starfleet, the Federation. So, who were the bad guys of the original series? The Klingons, largely. They were the prime antagonist of Kirk's crew. Who were the bad guys of the Next Generation? I mean, okay, you know what? That one's a little more muddy, but I honestly, whenever it comes up, argue that it was the Romulans. They were the biggest thorn in the Federation's side at that time. Who were the bad guys in Deep Space Nine? The Cardassians, the Changelings, the Jem'Hadar / Dominion, like all them, right? Now, why do I bring this up? Barlow, what are you getting at? They're all associated with the Federation now. Klingons, Romulans, Cardassians, Changelings, Jem'Hadar. they're all, at least in some capacity, associated with the Federation now. Even in that, I believe the only scene I saw confirmed, I believe, was at the end of episode 10. There was a Cardassian student in the background. That's what I'm talking about. Hope. Hope that things will get better for everybody. Because, oh man, what was it? I just went and saw Hoppers the other day. Beautiful movie. Absolutely hilarious. If you guys like animated comedies, I definitely recommend checking out Hoppers, right? But there was this one line that was said in the movie, right? We're all in this together, humans and animals alike. And man, that's what Star Trek feels like it's supposed to be, right? Like, yeah, okay, we just met you guys. You guys are kind of aggressive. You know, we're trying not to be, or maybe we're kind of aggressive. You're all, what the hell are y'all doing? And eventually the conversation happens and you're, oh, okay, no, y'all just trying to survive. Hey, you know, I'll tell you what, we got some dilithium that might help you guys out. You know, how about you share some of your resources? That hope was what made me love Star Trek as a kid, right? When I would watch Captain Picard, like, oh man, I wish I remembered the name of the episode now, but that one with the kind of a bottle episode, right? The Enterprise runs into that space probe, and then the probe kidnaps Picard's consciousness. Man, I can't remember what the name of the episode is, but I love that episode. And like that's the kind of hope that I've always wanted to see in Star Trek. That's why Sisko became my favorite captain, because that man, under no circumstances, ever stopped believing or gave up hope that one day things would work out for everybody involved with that space station, right? And it did. I mean, even Quark, dude. Quark went on to become a franchise, y'all. Like, damn, dude, doing it big. I mean, he might be dead now, so you know, passed on. I wonder if Nog ended up going back to take over the family business after Quark and Rom died. That'd be cool. You know, if Nog's still alive, now I imagine he's some like super old dude, like the Grand Nagus and Deep Space Nine, right? But if he's still alive, yeah, I'd really like to see him running Quarks. But anyway, sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there, y'all. Because of that, because season 1 has worked so hard to establish, hey guys, we see that we forgot what we're about, but we're doing our best to get back on track. Because of that, because Star Trek is finally trying to be Star Trek again, at some point, conversations about at least some of the members of the Venari Raw joining Starfleet Academy has to begin, because that's the finale of a Star Trek series. You know, maybe not, you don't get to see it on screen, but with the finale of your series, you're left with this feeling of, all right, yeah, no, they're going to end up, you know, siding with us, teaming up. We're going to get some from them. They're going to get some from us. Everybody's going to be doing better, because that's what Star Trek is supposed to be. It's not about space battles. It's not about gunfights. It's not about high speed chases in the pods, right? It's not about, you know, running through town and beating the hell out of a bunch of people in a marketplace, right? It's about hope. It's about not giving up. It's about looking for the answer that isn't easy, but benefits everybody. And with how episode 9 and 10 played out, I feel confident that the Venari Raw aren't bad. They've been misled, they've been manipulated, and they've been controlled by somebody with the biggest hate boner for the Federation ever. And now that person's gone, they have a chance. That they have a chance to rebuild themselves, to pick themselves from the ashes, dust themselves off, look around at what became of them, and be like, nah, you know what? That could go either way. They could lean into what Braca put in their minds, right? They could like, no, the Federation, they took everything from us. They took our leader. They like, or they could take a look around like, damn, Braca ripped us apart and was willing to throw us to the wolves because he didn't understand science. Like that part blew my mind. Dude blamed the Federation for something that his own planet did. Oh man. But anyway, I'd love to know what you guys think. How did you feel about episode 9 and 10 of StarFleet Academy season 1? And what do you think about this theory? What would you give the odds of the Venari Raw ending up joining or at least partnering with the Federation are? You can let me know, as always, in the comments. If that's not enough for you, feel free to reach out on my socials, X or Tumblr, or join the Discord server. Honestly, real quick update about the Discord. I didn't find another app that I liked as much, and the change doesn't seem to be affecting how I'm using the platform. If anything, all it'll do is protect me and my community from others. So for the time being, I am sticking with Discord. I haven't noticed any change in how the platform's reacting to me, how it's letting me share and talk about my content. So feel free to join the Discord if you would like to join any of the conversations, not even just about the stuff that I'm talking about on my channel. I got that thing set up. We can nerd out about all of it, everything, anything, and I'm willing to create channels for new things to become a fan of. Anyway, I hope everybody has an amazing day. Much love, friends.